So, Emma, wife darling, what are we talking about today?
Coping with clinginess and general sensory overload as parents.
This episode is called 5 Minutes Peace, please. Welcome back, mums and dads, to the Crippen household. Come and sit with us in the blanket fort. Grab your hot chocolate and your blanket and...
It's looking at me as I'm snuggled in my blanket.
It's cold outside. I'm cold.
I'm cold.
We get all cozy and the baby is asleep. So it's time to chat about parenting and unwind, have some laughs, relax as we do some arts and crafts, babies and toddlers, that sort of thing. We chat about what's going on. As usual, my name is Elliot.
And as typical, my name is Emma.
We have not changed people.
No. We're the same people with the same names, exactly the same as last time.
Yes. As you reminded us, we usually do a little factoid at this point. Do you have an interesting fact about yourself, Emma? What's something unusual about yourself that people might not know?
I have a favourite plate to eat meals off.
Oh, I didn't even know this. A favourite plate. All our plates are identical.
No, it's the one different one. You know, I think we've stolen it from your parents. It's the white flat plate.
Oh, yes,
slightly smaller, and that is my favourite plate to eat off.
Oh, so this is a recent development because we've only had that like 6 months or so.
Yeah, so in the last 6 months, that has been my favourite plate. I was
Right.
like, it's not like a few weeks. Yes.
Well, yeah, in comparative to our other plates that we've had for like 5-6 years.
True, yes.
It's fairly recent.
Yes, that is true. That is my favourite plate, and it makes any meal I eat taste better.
Oh, right. Oh, well, I don't think I have a favourite plate.
Well, that's because you haven't tried my plate.
I do
I
have, which I think is fairly normal. I have like a favourite coffee cup and a favourite glass to drink like certain drinks out of.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
I was going to say I was like an odd little child. I was into juggling, magic and puppets.
Yeah, you were sweet.
Little odd bod. That was me. Hello.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think I was a fairly normal child. Well, it's like as we got older, we got geekier. Like we like Dungeons and Dragons things.
Is that it? I think that's the introduction. There we go. That is the introduction.
That was a messy introduction, but it is now done. We can move past it and try and be more polished.
Pudding! Parenting achievement unlocked.
Parenting achievement time.
Stories relating to our 2 children, one who's 4 and one who's 11 months, Lily and Lola, for context. Oh, it amused me recently, you telling me you're chatting with the other mums at school and about how we all have a very similar circumstance where none of the mums and dads sleep in the same beds together.
And it's not like we don't get on with our husbands. Don't it's not like we're like...
You've been banished to the sofa.
No. I was really discussing with the other mums, as you're waiting for the kids.
Yeah.
I was saying something like, Elliot's normally laid in Lily's bed because the baby's normally in my bed. And they were like discussing it. And we realised basically none of our husbands sleep in the main bed. So one of them was like, her baby also sleeps in the bed. Her son sleeps in his room. And then the husband basically sleeps on the sofa because there's like no space.
All in different rooms.
Yeah. The other one was like, both her kids sleep in her bed with her, and the husband sleeps in the kids' bed, like in their bedroom. And there was another person in the commentary, and we were like, and none of us sleep in the same bed as our partner anymore. And we're all like, yeah, I think we're all at that stage of life where the kids are in the bed.
The joy of having particularly 2 or more children.
Yeah. And it's true, we all had 2 kids and one was young.
Yeah. So an actual parenting achievement that sort of highlights the ongoing parenting fail was that recently we stayed over somewhere and like we actually stayed in the same bed.
Got to sleep in the same bed.
All night. Like the first time.
Oh, in weeks at least.
I mean, there was a baby between us.
There was, but not for the whole night. Only part of the night.
Like very unusual to actually end up in the same room at night time. Okay.
We're going to get into the meat and potatoes of the podcast.
Yep. That is correct.
I always liked that phrase, meat and potatoes.
Do you think it's because you come from a farming background?
Because I always watch a Sunday dinner and I'm like, meat and potatoes.
Right, put your baby in the bouncer or in the playpen or lock it up somewhere for a while and let's jump into our conversation for today, which has actually been suggested to us by one of our listeners.
So, thank you.
Yeah, we're asking about what should we chat about next, and this was part of the topic. We've expanded it into sort of other areas. It's also the first time that I've consulted AI about the topic. Yep. Don't worry, I'm not
taking advice from it.
Yes, and I'm not leaving podcast production up to artificial intelligence. But I thought it could be interesting to see what it said. Added interesting thing that we don't normally do. All right, AI's advised me that I should start the podcast by inviting the audience in by saying, if you've ever felt like you just can't take another noise, touch, or mum, this episode's for you. There you go.
I feel like you can just lie and do it yourself.
Jeez. I don't know if it really sounds like me. It's not my style of how I normally, do the podcast.
True.
I do like the conversation starter, which might be an interesting point to start, and then we can kind of get into
true.
some of the challenges of this topic, which is often how we approach things. We just moan about, what the
but
realities
people seem
of parenting.
To enjoy it.
Yeah, well,
Like
parenting's tough, isn't it? Parenting's not just, there's so many things. Just, Anyway, which sound do you think should be classified as torture? Out of noises our kids make, whining, crying, a musical toy that doesn't switch off, that sort of thing.
I think...
Any thoughts?
Yes, but I don't know if this is a northern phrase.
Oh, okay, go on.
Because if you say whining, I'd say like when they're whinging.
Whinging.
Is that a normal word? I feel like it is.
Good question. I would consider possibly whining and whinging to be slightly different things.
A lot of the stuff with the baby, I can really rationalise it to myself by going like, well, she can't help it. She doesn't have words to express herself yet. She can't,
Oh, yeah.
Whereas with Lily sometimes, when I've said, just wait a moment, just in a second, sweetheart. And you like get to the fourth or fifth time where you're like, I don't know how many more ways I can nicely say, I will get to that in a second, but I just need 1 minute to just do this thing first. And like, it's when you're trying to be gentle parenting, but also in my head, I'm like, if she says that one more time, I'm going to scream. I'm going to lose it. Because I've heard this phrase. Like, Elliot can attest to this.
Mm-hmm.
What day was it? Would you go, mama, 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 mama? It was like continuously.
Yeah.
And Elliot kept going, what do you want? What do you want? Mama. I want mama. Mama. I was like,
I would say it happens most days where like you've gone upstairs, maybe to get Lola ready, maybe to go to the toilet, maybe to
have a moment
dressed,
for myself while I go to the toilet,
and then Lily like notices you've gone and like it's suddenly like, I want mama. Where's she gone? I want mama. And she'll like stand at the bottom. I'm like, what do you want? I'm right here. And then I'll be like, she's gone upstairs. I'll explain where she's gone. She's like, but I want mama. I want mama now. Why hasn't she come back? And it's like, you're going to have to wait. You're going to have to be patient. It doesn't go well. It normally ends in crying because you've been gone for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I think that sets the tone well about what we're going to be discussing today, which is just that whole scenario of how you deal with it. I don't know whether you actually answered the question, though.
What was it?
Like, is that what you're saying, that a toddler saying mama, mama, mama is your thing of what torture is?
Yeah, and it sounds really mean, doesn't it? Because it's like, they just want you. But I think that's the one that grates on me the most, because often I'm like, yes, yes. And they're just like, mama. I'm like, yes, I'm answering you. But it's almost she gets so into saying it, she doesn't even like... It's I think because she wants me to come into the room.
Well, it's just irrational, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't really like... And you're right, I think I have a lot more patience with the baby, really, because you kind of know she can't help it as much. And I do remember this transition with Lily when she kind of went, became a toddler. And, we're not far... we're almost approaching that phase with Lola where you now know she can understand.
Yes.
And I used to get more and more annoyed, and increasingly so with Lily, because like, I know you can comprehend this.
Yeah.
I know you're still young, but it's tough when you're like, I know you can like regulate your emotions, and I know you can understand what's going on. But
yeah. So that whinging is the worst, especially because it's not like there's nothing you can do about it. It's just non-stop.
Well, I think in a lot of cases there's nothing you can do about it, and that's the problem. That's the problem.
We don't often have many toys that make a lot of noises, so we don't often have.
You're right.
Problem.
That question, loud toys that are annoying, we don't have a lot of them.
No, and like the TV shows we watch aren't particularly loud either. Like there's not many things we have that I think are that overstimulating.
Yeah.
Probably because intentionally we try not to.
I think people will think, whether you've picked this up through the podcast or whether you know us in the real life world, and what does Bluey say?
It's like for real life or something to say.
We're quite calm, we're quite a quiet household. We're quite into gentle parenting, but outside of that, just generally our household is fairly quiet and calm. And
true, yeah.
So like, we don't add to the stimulation. The kind of overstimulating stuff purely comes from our kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for me, it's just like when both kids have lost it and they're like both screaming and crying at the same time. And I'm just like, my brain can't cope with it.
My brain is breaking. Yeah.
We'll get into this, but I think I struggle more with like the audio, the noise overstimulation, and you struggle a lot more with like the physical.
Yeah, I think that's probably
like,
true.
Touch stuff, like with them all over you all the time. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think that's partly though because they don't touch you.
Well, yes, exactly, yeah. Whereas when they're with you, they're fairly quiet. As soon as you leave, they're both screaming because they want you back.
Yes, you have to deal with the screaming. Yes, that's true. Yeah. I was going to say, I remember, it must have been about 2-3 months ago when both the girls were crying because they both wanted to sit on me, and they both were sat on me. And then my mum was calling me, and I answered, and she had a problem with her phone, and I had to try and explain that she didn't have a virus, even though she thought she had a virus on her phone. And I remember she kept going like, Emma, because she like wanted me to pay attention to her.
Yeah.
I remember I finally sorted out and put it on the call, and you were just like, How didn't you lose it? Like, how didn't you lose it with anybody? You didn't lose it with the kids. You didn't lose it with your mum. And I was like, I didn't. But internally, I was screaming. It's kind of what my life's like sometimes.
Yeah. Again, we'll get into this maybe later on when we talk about if we have any ideas of how to cope with this situation. Not that we're saying, we're not experts. We definitely don't have any good tips and advice particularly. But we can chat about what we think we do.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're the sort of people that kind of snap. It's not like we reach a threshold. I mean, it'd be interesting. I don't know whether it's just we've never reached it or just,
trying to get us there.
But like it does get too much for us. It's just that doesn't express itself in us like suddenly then bursting out.
Well, I always have a theory that because my parents shouted a lot and I didn't like that. So I think I purposely do the opposite in that I'm like, I'll never shout at them.
Yeah. That's interesting. This episode wasn't intended to veer into gentle parenting, but it's interesting talking about that this is where we've ended up.
But then it does annoy me when Lily shouts because when I calm her down, I always go, we don't shout at you. Why are you shouting at us? And
I think it's helpful you to have told those stories about, it helps paint the picture of what we're talking about, but like what we mean by sensory overload. So going from a very young baby, a lot of it does fall to you because like often the baby is like on someone constantly.
Yeah, it's true.
And whilst we do split things fairly evenly, more often than not, you are holding the baby a lot of the time.
Yeah, I think that's true. And I especially in this, with Lola, we did breastfeed. So obviously you hold her for feeds and for naps and like you're with her all the time. And because Lola was quite sickly, you kind of didn't dare put her down in case she'd throw up as well. So she was like just a constant kind of attachment. Yeah. All the time.
Was it different between Lola and Lily? Were you more overstimulated? Obviously, we've got another kid in the house. So there's like an added thing going on there. But in terms of the physical touch stuff.
I will say this is, I'm skipping around all over the place.
Yeah, I know, yeah. That's fine.
What was very hard is like, none of my body is my own at all. Like the baby rescues from me. Lily is like constantly looking up my top and down my top to see where the milk is coming from.
Yeah.
Why things are happening. I had nipple shields and she would like want to wear the nipple shields and I felt like being like, I don't even get my own nipple shields. Like,
Yeah,
I don't get nothing is sacred. Nothing is just me.
Yeah.
Like, and you already feel like kind of, and maybe not everybody does, but I always felt like very sweaty and like I stunk of milk all the time. And I just wanted a shower. And sometimes I'd sit there as Lily was like also looking at my boob. And I was like, it's just a lot. It's a lot of people focused on mummy's boobs. It's just a lot going on today.
Yeah.
And I try and be nice because I'd be like, it's nice that she wants to know. Like, this is the mum guilt. I'm like, it's nice that she wants to know. It's nice that she's interested. I should just explain. And I would try and be nice about it. But part of me would be like, but could you not look at mummy's boob and touch it? And could you just not? Because then she'd be like, I want to click the breast pump on for you. And I'd be like, no, because you're going to put it on the wrong setting. She'd be like, I want to do this bit. I'd be like, could you not do any of the bits? Could you not help mummy at all?
Yeah, that is a particular mum challenge. I think for me, similar, but obviously not quite the same thing. But like, I've had to adapt being a parent that like none of my stuff is my own anymore.
Nothing. Nothing is sacred.
Again, probably because I've come from an upbringing where I was an only child. I had a lot of stuff. I had a lot of memory boxes. Like we had a lot of things, like memories and things we'd made together. Like I was quite precious over some of the things I had, you know, keepsakes and stuff. And like slowly over the years, particularly now with Lola, who just destroys everything.
Because Lily was very good.
yeah. But I've just had to accept that like none of it will survive.
Yeah.
Like literally.
And if anything does, that's
I've had
great.
to like detach a lot of my sentimentality from these objects.
Well, I remember this when we used to do like chuck outs.
Yeah.
When we were first dating, he'd be like, "Oh no, we'll keep that."
Yeah.
"Oh no, we'll keep that." And I
A
used
lot
to
of
be
the stuff's
like,
now
"Why are we
gone.
keeping all this
Yeah.
stuff?"
Like I don't retain any of the like the things that were precious to me pre-parenthood. They're just no longer, they don't exist anymore. Like, and I've had to adapt to that because the kids have taken ownership of all of it. Like like a lot of like my electronics, a lot of like little things you bought me for birthdays and things, because you know we were quite childish. You used to buy me like remote control R2D2s and things.
Yes, true.
You know,
Yes,
like in the same way you've got a lot of soft fluffy toys,
Yeah.
and all of them have become the kids' toys.
Yeah.
Like they're all now in the toy box.
Yeah.
None of them, and like a lot of them now have holes in or are broken or you
Once
know.
again, though, mainly through Lola.
A lot of it through Lola. Yeah. And it's not the same, but I can see the resonance in if that stuff was my body, that sense of like,
true.
I no longer, it doesn't feel like mine anymore.
Yes,
I no longer have ownership of this. This is just a shared commodity that I have given up for parenthood.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I think that's what I felt like a lot. And then it'd be hard because like Elliot would try and hug me and I'd be like, I'm really not. Please don't touch me. Like everyone's touching me, just leave me alone. I think it seemed more natural the second time round. I don't know, it's because I was like prepared for cleanness. I honestly didn't find, some people might, so, you know, not invalidating people's feelings, but I never find that newborn phase too bad.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, it's interesting hearing other people's experiences about struggling with that. Obviously, I can't breastfeed the baby, but I don't mind that phase with a baby, even if it's a screaming and whatnot. Just like walking around with it. With Lola and Lily, often they'd be quite unsettled, and you'd hand them over to me, and like I'd have to like try and settle them down. It could take forever, but somehow I don't find that overwhelming. I know for some people, we've often had this conversation where people find it because they don't know what's wrong, because they worry like they don't know what they're doing. They feel guilty that they're not sure what they're supposed to do, and you kind of just thrown into it.
True.
But I don't know. I don't think either of us ever kind of had that. Somehow I find Lily's screaming now as a toddler and an older child more grating than the baby cry. And I don't know why that is.
I think it's not an angry cry.
Yeah.
Because I remember when Lily turned about 1.5 and then it would get angry. And for some reason that would irritate me more. Like something internally would make it. Once again, it's not their fault they get angry, but I think as an automatic response, you're like, oh, they're angry. Yeah. Like, and it kind of makes you angry, or it must be some fight or flight thing.
That's why I've struggled more this time around with Lola, because trying to get her to sleep, she does do an angry cry.
She does, yeah.
Like, she really fights it, unlike Lily ever did. So it's not just a a crying where you need to rock her to sleep. It's like thrashing and screaming and like a real angry sort of like, why are you trying to get me to sleep? And that I do really struggle with, particularly because I know if I gave her to you, she'd go down in an instant.
Yeah, well, this is
and I'm like, just go to sleep. I know
come
you
up
need to
with-
sleep. I can see you're tired.
I go up to save him. But I think it makes it worse because then he sees Lola. I'm not kidding. It's like within 6 seconds.
Yeah.
He hands her over. She snuggles into me and it's like, poof, asleep.
Yeah.
And you can see his face has been like,
Yeah.
I've been here for half an hour.
Yeah.
She hasn't gone asleep. And she's just screamed at me.
I know I'm going to mess things up now because we're not sticking to our pattern where we said we were going to get to tips and advice later.
Yeah.
But I do think this is one of the things that you've got to deal with. And we cope with, I don't know whether we're just heartless, but we cope with it quite well, which is you've got to let them...
You've got to like, get used to the other person.
You've got to be comfortable with the idea that if you need a break, you need to give them to your partner, or if you've got other support around, hopefully.
Yeah.
And it might be that they cry more and that it takes longer, but like you need that break. Like, so she will cry with me and we put up with that. And it's really hard because we know we're putting me through more, we're putting the baby through more. It would be so much quicker and easier if I just gave her back to you.
Yeah.
But like that would mean then you're doing everything, and then you would get that thing of like you
and
always have to do it.
I also think it kind of teaches the baby almost that like, oh, don't worry, if I cry for long enough, Mummy will come and put me to sleep. And I want to be like, well, no, Daddy will have some nights where he's putting you to sleep, and you kind of, I know you don't want to, but that's just gonna be what happens sometimes. Because especially if I'm away or something, there's not a choice. I can't come save. Save the situation.
I do sometimes think that I treat the kids a little bit like dogs, where I'm like, we need to train them, and that is going to be challenging, and that does mean, with a clingy baby or with whatever the overstimulating thing is, maybe they're just on you constantly. Maybe it's the noise, whatever. And
we need to work if we're in phases where I'm like, you're ill. You're particularly tired, like during
we're not like purposely depriving them of their mum, but like the ability to share that load means that initially we have to go through the hardship of like training the baby to find comfort in both of us.
Yes, yeah.
Because I think this is one of those topics where we're talking about how to look after ourselves more than how to look after our children.
True. Yeah.
And sometimes that means we do have to prioritize our own mental well-being, our own recognizing we're overstimulated, and that sometimes means we have to let the kids cry. And
it's really hard because it's a fine line between like, I have to let him do it, but also it's really painful to hear your child crying and know you could just go in and stop it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm often like, I could go in there, and I'm often like, you okay? And he's like, yep, he was alone.
I want to prove I can get her to sleep.
I can do it. And I'm like, I know he can. I just need to let him. It's just it's getting better, but it is painful sometimes when I'm like, I could just go in and I could just do it. She'd be asleep. Yeah. So it is hard, but I think in order to have a sane life, sometimes you're like, well, she'll just have to learn that Daddy puts her to bed sometimes.
Just to touch on while we're on babies before we move on to toddlers, I do think, and again, this might not be popular, but I think one of the things that's worked in our favour, and it's worked in our favour for quite a number of different elements, is that you didn't do a huge amount of breastfeeding.
Yeah, it's true.
I think for a lot of some of our friends we know, I think struggle with that attachment a lot more when they breastfeed more and breastfeed for longer.
And it's natural, because if the baby has breastfed, they're like, well, that's how I get to sleep. That's my comfort. That's my go-to
of course
thing.
It means the baby would be on you more often. It gets more attached to you. Like all of these things then compound. Just naturally, it's just the way it is. And you can't do anything about that. But I think we've avoided some of those things.
We've avoided that because we stopped at 6 months, and I never exclusively breastfed.
We always mixed fed.
Yeah. So it made that easier because it meant kind of she was used to taking feeds with you, so it helps with everything about like helping.
We know loads of mums who they can only put the baby to sleep. Because the only way the baby goes to sleep is being on a boob. So like, there's no way the dad can do it.
Exactly.
Whereas,
and that's how you like. That's the struggle, because then you literally know you're like somebody's on you all the time.
And I think that's what it is, isn't it?
It's so hard though, because part of me is like, in some ways, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, that is
Of
how
course
nature
not.
intended for
Yeah.
babies to be. It's just that our modern lives don't fit with it.
Of course, yeah.
Like, so it's frustrating sometimes.
Those mums don't have the support structures that they probably would have done when in a society where they would have been the primary carers 24/7.
Yeah, true.
And like these days, when a mum is just kind of at home all day with a baby, you can see how the overstimulation and the stuff, you know, you're the only it just gets to you, doesn't it? Whereas again, another of our advantages is we are both always at home. You know, we both work from home. So if it ever gets too much for you, and you have been the primary carer for Lola,
true,
you know, you've had a longer maternity, but I'm always there. You can always pass her off to me, you know, if you need 5 minutes, if you need to, you know, go to the toilet or whatever.
Yeah, especially sometimes I'm like, I just want to go to the toilet by myself.
Yeah. No yawning, Emma. This is the little bit in the middle where we've got to tell our listeners all about to clickety tap the buttons. Please do get involved. Follow us on social media. Don't Wake the Baby _podcast on YouTube or on Instagram, or please follow us on the TikTok. And my little old man, you're more up with the TikTok.
I am more up to TikTok.
Yes, but we're both involved on Instagram though, so you can. Emma tends to do a lot of stories, and I do a lot of reels. So follow us there. We'd love to hear from you. Do get involved with the community. Recently, we've switched our community over, so as well as the Facebook group, which is still there but doesn't really work particularly well, we do have a WhatsApp community.
We do.
So we would encourage you, if you'd like to chat with us directly, if you'd like to link up with other listeners and share mutual support, chat about episodes, or just generally, you know, share how parenting is going and find connection to other mums and dads out there who are listeners, then you can join our WhatsApp group. There's links to that on our website about how you can do that sort of stuff, you know, things. But there's lots of good conversation going on in there, as well as like behind the scenes and updates, and you can be involved in like helping us shape what episodes we do, what topics we talk about, what's coming up, like behind the scenes of what's going on in our lives, because like we don't share pictures of our kids and things on social media, but like we share a bit more in the privacy of that group. So you know, it's a smaller, intimate space where it's safe to connect with other people. So if that's of interest, we'd highly recommend it. You can find all the stuff on our webpage, www.kairosmovement.org.uk/don't-wake-the-baby. And that is because we do this project in partnership with the Kairos Movement, which is a sort of faith-based organization within the Methodist Church, a grassroots movement of people exploring spirituality in new and different ways, mostly online and discussion based. You don't have to know what it is, or you don't have to be involved, or whatever.
Do whatever you want.
Just so you know, like where we get our support from and where we get our oversight and funding and other bits and pieces from to do this project. Is that everything we need to say?
I think so.
5 minutes, peace. Please. So like as they begin to get more mobile, and it's less about those sort of baby things that kind of drive you up the wall, but more like the way they follow you around the house, the way that like they're clinging onto your leg when you're trying to cook, or like, you know,
Elliot was laughing at that yesterday.
Yeah. And again, it's like it's different for both of us, because like I can put an activity out or put something interesting, and Lola will just, you know, and Lily would as well. She would just be engaged with that, and I could cook quite happily by myself. Whereas if you're there, they're all over you.
I never cook by myself. I either have to hold Lola, or Elliot was laughing yesterday because you were sat with both the girls in one room. Then Lola was like padding into the kitchen, which I'm used to hearing a little creature follow you, like, oh, where you gone? He came behind it, and then he was laughing because like I was stood at the cooker. This little creature was like grabbing my legs, like trying to climb me to be like, pick me up, do something with me. Because it's also like adorable. Like it's so nice sometimes when I hear her padding through. I'm like, oh, she's looking for me. Like it's a mixture of cute And then sometimes when you're like, but I just wanted to cook in peace, alone, with nobody. Yeah. So I think the problem is it also depends on my mood, because sometimes I'm quite like, oh, they're adorable, they love me so much. Sometimes you're at a point where you're like, please get off me. Please just let me breathe a little bit. Especially because I think if you listen to our last episode when they were both ill, they were just like, they didn't even want to sit on me together. They would just try and push each other off me for one of them to be sat on me.
And I'm like right there being like, come on, come have a huggle with me.
Yeah, and he kept going, who wants to come on Daddy's knee? Come on.
Like, nope, neither of them want to. And like, yeah, that's one of the ones where we gave in.
You had to beg them. You had to be like, you have to get off Mummy. She hasn't eaten.
Yeah.
She cannot eat a meal with you both laid on her.
And sometimes, if we were to take our own advice from earlier, I might literally physically pick one of them off your knee and like take them upstairs, and they would be screaming. Yeah. But I would then like try and settle them down, and we'd have a nice time upstairs, have some space, and then come back down. But sometimes,
sometimes we're like, just let them lie on me.
Yeah.
Like it saves the trouble.
That's too much work right now. How much energy have we got? To fight this going on. But I think that's, again, it's all credit to you as well, because like you say, you have an awful lot of love for both kids, and in some ways I think this is one of those areas where we slightly embody the other gender stereotypes, as we sometimes do in our parenting roles. Not that stereotypes, like, you can do whatever you want in life. But, like I was just noticing how on the AI thing about what we should talk about was suggesting a conversation about the paradox of like loving your kids but also wanting space from your kids, and about sometimes that, like, the emotional drain as well. And sometimes I think parents feel guilty that, like, I love my kids so much, but actually right now I need some space from the ones I love. Yeah. Like you were saying, your tolerance and like thing is quite extreme. Yeah, whereas I'm normally the one that's actually, like, particularly this year, I've really struggled a bit more with what would stereotypically we would call like mum guilt and not feeling adequate. Like I've struggled with the sensory stuff a lot more, and like feeling like I'm not doing a good job and like all that stuff. And so it's all interconnected, isn't it? Because part of it is about the fact that they are all over you. Yeah, and like they scream when they're with me. And like,
which isn't good for your mental health.
Do you know what? It's not great. But like, I've been struggling a lot with all sorts of things, with lack of sleep, and like it's been really challenging with 2 kids now. Yeah. So I think I have a lot more of those common thoughts of feeling like I want space from these kids, and then feeling guilty of like, but that's, I feel bad that I want space from, because we're both trapped inside with the kids all day long. Because that's again, the downside of what we were talking about earlier, is often mums feel a bit jealous or whatever of, a dad that gets to go out for work and leave the craziness of the house. But we are often both trapped with it.
Yeah, true.
And you just deal a lot better with it than I do.
Yeah, I don't know if it's also just because I grew up with a big family, so that I've always had a lot of noise and not much personal space. And
that's a good point.
I just wonder if that's almost, I'm accustomed to that.
That is your normal baseline. So it's lots of people,
growing up with
lots
of people, growing up with like people the same age as me, so we'd all be snugged up
together.
You are
all touchy-feely, you're very close. Obviously, as
so I always think it's almost
you're all. Yeah.
I've had that from being very little, so to me that's not necessarily as overstimulating as it would be for other people. Yes. Whereas you've like an only child, you have a very quiet house.
I'm an introvert. Like I always liked my personal space. Like I like doing stuff alone. I like quiet. Like currently, like just the complete opposite of everything.
In your life.
Our life is at the moment. Yeah, I suppose that probably, you're right. That probably does it. It completely explain why I've struggled more.
Because I was thinking, like, why doesn't it bother me so much? And I was like, I guess that's been my way my life's always been. So it just doesn't. It's not as odd, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's like, oh, I never get overstimulated. It's just, I think it's just I have like a higher tolerance level for overstimulation.
Yeah. Where did we get to? We were talking about toddlers.
Yes. Oh, I was going to say, this harks back to baby, but it kind of fits toddler.
Right.
So, like a good tip that somebody said is like, like toddlers often need attention, but they don't always like, they do need physical touch, but sometimes they just need you kind of to acknowledge what they're doing or to like distract them another way. So like with Lily, it used to be very nice about breastfeeding. Like I was like putting them to bed where I could just read a story.
Yeah.
And she was quite happy for me to read the story, and she wouldn't have to be like all over me. She was just happy for me to be paying attention and being like reading the story as she turned the pages. So I think there's things like that you can do once they're an age where they can understand. You can be like, maybe let's not be all over each other, but let's do something where I'm paying a lot of attention to you and you're getting that need.
Yeah,
but not in a physical
I think that's
way.
something that's particularly come into play with 2 children is, you know, the extra strain of you can no longer give full attention just to one child. You have 2 children that both want your attention. You have to split, you know, and try and give 100% to both children so they both feel like they've, you know, got you. And sometimes as parents, you know, you're so caught up in the needs of one child, you immediately shut down.
Yeah,
you can't. It's really difficult to split, isn't it, and focus on 2 things at once. So sometimes you're to a toddler, you're just like, wait a minute, mummy's mummy's breastfeeding at the moment, mummy's doing this, you know, but actually just giving a small acknowledgement, a small bit of attention, even if it's not fully what they need right now, can go a long way.
Yeah, I think it just pacifies them to be like, oh, mummy is doing something with me.
Yeah,
she's paying attention. Like at one point, I used to make Lily help me wash bottles with the baby. So then I'd be like, oh, you've been such a good help for mummy. So good. And she'd be quite happy doing that because she feels like she's being useful and helpful, but not having to, you know.
Yeah. I mean, we're into tips and advice territory here, aren't we?
That is true, yeah.
Which we can shift into, which... yeah, I mean, distractions, basically. Like, that's a good way, isn't it? Like, activities, particularly as you move into the toddler years, you can do stuff. And, you know, when you have one child, particularly like before we had Lola, I remember we used to have slight disagreements about this because I wanted to put a lot of focus on that independent play.
Yes, true.
Because it was that my approach of like training a dog. It was sort of like trying to move us into a phase where we're reducing that overstimulation, because if they come to expect 100% of your attention all of the time, sometimes you can shoot yourself in the foot because then you never get a break.
I think I do. I think that's what I do.
Yeah.
But I think that's what feeds into mum guilt, because I'm like, I should be giving them 100% of my attention.
Yeah. Whereas
like,
I was
why
always
did I have kids if I wouldn't give them attention?
Going like, it's okay. You can just ignore them for a bit.
Yeah.
Like I would sit in a room with Lily and she would play by herself and I would just, you know, like chip in now and again.
Yeah.
But
yes, we didn't do
even
that.
now that happens a lot. Like before bedtime, we alternate each night who puts which kid to bed.
Which is probably another good tip for making both kids go do bedtime. True. If you can, like if someone's not working,
a common activity that Lily does before bed is play with Lego.
Yeah.
Most nights with both of us, but we have very different styles of playing with Lego or bricks or dolls or whatever it is,
anything,
whatever activity like that, where I'm only kind of passively involved. Often we're playing the same thing but next to each other, and we'll both kind of comment on what each other are doing, and I'll be like, what are you making, Lily? And she'll be like, I'm making this. She's like, what are you making, Daddy? I'm making this, and this is how the game will go for us both. Whereas you two are like very involved in each other's game.
Well, we don't even really build with the Lego. Ours is entirely character based.
Oh wow.
So like we literally have like the little Lego figures, and whatever you've built the night before is what we play with normally. And then I think she also knows Mummy's not fantastic at building Lego. And we literally just talk the figures to each other and they do stuff. And so ours is like more like a play.
Imaginative play.
Yeah, where you're like, this character's going to do this, or your character's going to do this. And so you have characters.
Story-based.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Much more story kind of role play.
And actually they do, like both kids, like they play very differently with both of us. They relate to us very differently. You know, like we've often said before, like they do come to you for that comfort.
Yeah.
You are the like main caregiver.
Yeah.
And I don't get too caught up in the fact that like neither of them will, like they do sometimes, but most of the time they won't come for me just for like a hug and a cuddle.
Yeah, true.
Because they want to be comforted. Like, but they will both come to me if they want to play.
Yeah.
And, like, they want to be entertained. If they want to do something physical,
something fun.
Like, like, and that isn't actually my kind of cup of tea all the time. I'm not a dad that's really into all the physical play, but that is how
That's what they
their
want.
primary way of
Yeah.
what they want from me. So, I kind of just lean into that.
I think there's a problem for a lot of mums because we're their comfort. We are the kind of person that they will be most tactile with.
Yeah.
So I think if you are going to get kind of overwhelmed, it is going to be because they're like, I want to lay on you all the time and I want to touch you.
Or with toddlers, once you get to the point where they're chatting and speaking.
Yes.
It's the same thing, isn't it? Often we'll find Lily will talk incessantly to you.
Oh, yeah.
And she often does now with me as well. I mean,
yeah,
Lily's moving out of the toddler phase, really. She's 4, but particularly, maybe a year ago or so, like, often she wouldn't, like, do a lot of that chatting with me. So, like, I would get some peace and quiet. Whereas with you, it would just be incessant talking.
Yes, true. It was so incessant. It'd be like she'd tell you a whole day, but kind of right from start to finish, but with every single little detail that happened in the day. It's like, then I put my shoes on, then I went outside, then I saw this outside, and you'd be sat there like, this is very interesting, quite intense.
Yeah. And of course, depending on the age, often it's in like toddler speak, where you've got to try and interpret it because it's kind of a bit, mumbled and not fully pronounced yet.
Yeah.
And they will get frustrated if you don't understand. So, like, you've got to engage your brain 100%, trying to decipher what it is they're telling you.
Especially, it's fair enough when they're a bit younger, you can give kind of,
oh yeah,
interesting.
Yeah. Oh, I would do that a lot.
Yeah. A lot of it, I'm just like, well, it's just the way they are. Like, a lot of the time. I don't know if that's good advice. I'm like, it's not really helpful. But
anyway, that's a bit that's going to have to go back into the earlier bit of the episode.
So
let's switch.
So sorry, future Elliot.
Let's switch back into our bit. Again, this is going to be a shorter episode. It really hasn't been.
I don't even know if it's any good. We're going all over.
I think we're covering a lot of good ground. It's just messy.
Yes.
Okay. I think this section's going to be short anyway because I don't know that we have a lot of good tips and advice. I mean, looking at what AI said, it did just confirm what we were saying, like just validate the favourite parent thing without competing. It's not actually provided any advice for how, when your kid says, no, not you, daddy, like what you actually do. It's not given me any advice for that, which is no good at all. Right, let's see. What other advice have you got, AI? Because we are coming up blank. What can we do?
Well, I think, like, what I worry is so hard because I think, especially, people told us, didn't they, non-stop when Lily was little, they kept saying to me, oh, well, you won't be the favourite parent forever. When it changes, it'll feel different. And I remember I kept being like, every year, it's the same.
But also, we have had periods where it has switched. Like, it's not to say the entire time they've been anti-daddy and only want mummy. Like,
oh no, they have a great affection for you. It's just it's not like.
I do think because we've got girls and like the relationship like dads and daughters, I do think what they're talking about is in like 5 years' time.
Yes, true.
Not
just
like
the way
in the
people
immediate...
said it to me. They acted like it would be soon. And I'm not saying I don't like. Well, I do sometimes like being the favorite. Really depend on the situation, but. It's when they used to say it to me, and I'd be like, well, when?
Yeah.
When?
But what I was going to say, in those short periods where the girls have come to me for stuff or whatever, or been more thing with me, like, that's not made you feel jealous. You've not been like, oh, I miss this. You've been like, oh, that's lovely for Elliot.
Yeah. I could be like, because I feel terrible. Like, sometimes it's when they go, I don't want daddy. And he sat right there. And I'm like, what a way to hurt someone's feelings. So like if Lily goes to him, like one night she said like, I want daddy to put me to bed. And I was like, well, that's really nice. Like that's really nice you want daddy to put you to bed now instead of me. Like one day she wanted to go out with you instead of me. She's like, I want daddy to take me out today.
Yeah.
And I was like, great.
Like, so there is hope. Like,
there is.
If you've got a young baby at the moment who's very clingy, like... we've not yet got to the point where it's like completely flipped or anything.
Yeah, no.
Like obviously most of the time you are still the go-to.
Yeah.
But it doesn't stay that same level of clinginess
that's
forever.
And it's also not like, when they're ill, they both want me. But we have quite a happy, other than Lola, obviously she's young, she wants mummy. But with Lily, which means you can see the future of Lola.
Yeah.
She's like generally very happy having a day out with daddy. She's very happy, like, do you know what I mean? If she gets to pick, she often would pick mummy, but she's not like, she's very happy just spending time with you.
I mean, looking at this is one of the pieces of advice, it suggests mental reframing. Remind yourself this is temporary, it's developmental, and it's not a failure of patience. Like things will change.
Yeah.
And it's not anything you're doing wrong right now.
No, true.
That often this is just the developmental stage, a child is in.
True.
If they're coming to you and being very clingy, that's often because that's what they need.
Yeah, true. Which I know in the moment won't make me feel any better.
No.
But it does sometimes, or I just tell myself, I'm like, they can't help it.
Yeah.
Natural.
Yeah. Okay, so let's switch gears a little bit in talking about then. Okay, so trying to avoid some of that guilt, but actually cope with that need, having to do some of that sometimes. What are some coping tactics to cope with some of the overstimulation, whether it's noise or touch or anything like that?
You often have your headphones in.
Yeah, I mean, we've mentioned this before. I'm a big podcast listener. I basically try and zone out. I mean, I don't know if this is good. Like, it's like temporary coping.
Relief, yeah.
I wouldn't say it's ideal for long term. But yes, a lot of this year I've been just because you can't physically escape the space.
I can't get out.
At least with some headphones in, and they're little wireless ones, so the kids don't always realize that I'm not mentally present. But I'm just well, I can just sit here. Everyone's screaming, everything's chaos, but at least I can just try and focus on these people talking in my ears.
And I must admit, I do use that now for if I'm putting Lola to bed and she's a bit unsettled. I think it does help me keep calmer. It's not even just it's just noise really, but having something else to focus on rather than the crying.
I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Because this is almost the opposite of what you might expect. A lot of the advice is trying to carve out time for sensory downtime, finding some space, however brief, to go and try and get away from some of this stimuli. And actually, my main advice is adding another thing on top. Do you want me adding another sensory thing on top of it? But
I guess it depends what's restful to you, doesn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, do you find do you sometimes feel like you need to just go and sit in a quiet room and just decompress, or just get away from everyone touching you all the time, or
Yeah. I mean, I think one of my main things I do is I have an internal monologue where I'm going they can't help it, they can't help it, they can't help it.
Again, this is a bit like my headphones. It feels like a good temporary.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel like a very good long-term solution.
No, but I think because I know it won't be that forever. I just tell myself well, she's a baby, she can't help it. Yeah. She just wants you. And I think almost that internal monologue when they're getting over the top just helps you to remember they're very little and they have emotions and they just need you sometimes, and it's difficult, but they're tiny. There's not much you can do. But yeah, I absolutely, this is also what is maybe a good hint. I had a night away with my sister Kirsty. We went to Liverpool to see Andre, and that was so nice, just having one night. Ladies, I mean men too, if you're overstimulated and you can leave the baby with somebody overnight, it's because I wasn't even gone that long, but just having one night in a hotel where I could drink wine and just turn off, I didn't have to think about anybody else but myself, was so nice. Even now when I get a bit I look back at those pictures and I'm I'll do that, I can do that again one day.
I saw an article about this recently. I'm really struggling to remember the exact words they used, but they were saying that actually an awful lot of parents are struggling with a super high level of constant overwhelmingness. Where they're sort of just, I can't remember how they described it, but I really resonated with how they were saying, that sort of going through the motions of life at this constant heightened state. You're
aware of everybody's needs all the time. I don't know, thought process is up here. You're I'm super aware of what's happening.
Just overwhelmed constantly. And I look back on, my birthday week away, which is a highlight of this year. Yeah, I too look back on stuff like that, and you return to your happy place. But I would say again, I don't know if this is a good I mean, it's a good tip, but I feel like we're falling into that trap of like
short-term life.
We are becoming so overwhelmed with it that we need like a full break away to recover. Where really, and we've been advised of this many times and never succeeded in managing it, is to build in a regular rhythm of, you know, like once a week we both go out and do something we want to do on our own without the kids. You know, an activity, a club,
I
a
managed
meetup.
that before I had Lola. I used to go to the gym.
You used to go to your weights class thing, and that was like
nice.
something you could do away from everyone. Or like date nights and things. Like a lot of people recommend keeping up that regular rhythm of just a short amount of time every week to... rather than what we've done, which is just struggle on, get to the point where you kind of you've reached your limit, and then we're like, well, we're gonna need like a weekend away.
Because gonna need something. I think we struggle though, because like we need childcare, and it's just challenging.
Oh yeah, it's super challenging.
But also recently had my nails done, and like you spend an hour just sat there having it, and it's so nice. I'm like that. You know, there's like retail therapies there. I'm like, it is when you have like a beauty treatment done and you can just sit.
So this is an interesting thing to see if we fall into the stereotypes again or not.
Yeah, true.
Do you like, can you, even though it's like an hour away, I remember it took a long time and I was left with both kids like near bedtime. It was, oh dear.
Yeah.
Like, were you able to fully like relax and like enjoy that?
Yeah.
See, that's interesting. Whereas like when I go out, the occasions I go out to like work meetings and stuff and actually get to leave the house, I'm not going to do something particularly fun, but at least I'm escaping.
Like it's like an escapism,
you know. I do have that guilt thing where I'm like, I've left both kids with Emma, she's going to be like struggling on with them, and I'm here enjoying being able to just sit with a coffee in a meeting.
Yeah, and I don't know that at all. I think I did when Lola was younger, but now I'm like, this is great. I was talking to the other mums about this, because one of them in our friendship group, her little girl's just started nursery, and she's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to feel so bad. And me and the other mum were like, oh, we love it. Like, and I said, it is hard initially. I said, but you get to a point and you're like, great. Like today I don't have to. And it's like, I do still look at my phone and the nursery app occasionally. But most of the time now I've got to a point where I'm like, well, that's great. All day I don't have to think about that. Yeah. Like I can just section it off till the time comes around when I'm going to have, you know what I mean? Have the kids again. Which is probably more of a man thing. But yeah, I'm quite good at switching it off and just being like, cool. It's just me. Great.
Yeah. It's interesting. Again, I see a lot of mums who really value like taking a break when dad gets in and they go and have like a long bath and things to decompress. But that's never something that you've ever
there's no way I'd have a bath by myself, is it? Somebody else.
But we could arrange that. Like, but you've never been like, I really need to go for a bath now.
No, that's true.
Like, it's just interesting.
No, I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't enjoy it. I'm just saying I think often the screams of the children outside the door, I think, would be worse.
We'd love to know your tips. We're going to really have to wrap up this episode because, again, it's got dragged on. Usually, our time limit is focused on the baby's nap, and she'll wake up, and then that will like cut off. Yeah. But both the kids are out. Yeah. One's at school, one's at nursery, so we've not got anyone to tell us to stop talking. So that we've just kept going.
Maybe this is another tip. Like once you kind of have regular childcare, which I know it's because you're working, but I often use my time working to relax. So I'm just going to enjoy sitting and doing my work and drinking a hot drink and you know. Yeah.
That's why we do the podcast. It's a bit like our little version of a date night where we get a moment, like an hour once every now and again to sit and chat and decompress.
We need to do a date night again.
Yeah, we've not had one.
It's partly because I'm greedy and I'm like, I'd really love to go out for a Chinese together again.
Have we had one this year? I don't know.
We've had a date, but we took the baby, do you remember, to the cinema? But we're going to go see Wicked.
We'll go and try do that just by ourselves. Yeah. Oh, that'd be fun.
Cinema date.
Yeah.
Be like young teenagers.
Right, okay. AI tells me I need to tell you it's okay to need space from the people you love most.
Oh, definitely. Yes. As you've heard, I have no guilt about it.
Optional closing reflection. We talk a lot about giving our kids comfort, but sometimes the best gift is showing them how adults care for themselves too.
That is true, AI.
There we
I
go.
feel like AI could be like a character.
We'll
Like
see.
a little robot
Yeah.
in the corner that goes, the best thing is looking after yourself.
Let us know if you've liked the little AI bits in this, so we can discuss whether we can like do that again, or if
Our
that's
third host,
not a good idea
the
or not.
robot.
But thank you for joining us in the blanket fort today.
Yeah.
This cozy winter day. I hope you've enjoyed it. A bit more of a like slightly serious conversation, I suppose. It'd be really fascinating to know how you cope with all this stuff, whether it affects you or not, whether you relate to what we say.
And my main thing, use it as an excuse to go out somewhere and have a break. Like, if you're feeling tapped out.
Yeah, I mean, do make sure you've left someone with the kids.
Oh, yeah. Somebody you trust. But I'm saying, I think a lot of mums don't want to take time to
Don't be afraid for standing up for
because they
yourself.
feel guilty. They're
and
like,
saying,
oh, no,
"This is what I
I
need."
don't want to because it'll inconvenience someone. I'm like, well, do it.
You tell your
Just
man,
do
I
it.
need a break.
I need a break, mate. Come
Yeah.
on. I'll just do what I do. And I'm like, look, I've booked something.
Yeah. God bless, sleep well, and until next time,
Don't wake the baby.
yabba dabba doo.
That's not... You're going to get copyrighted. You can't do that. Do you even know what it's from?
We won't get copyrighted.
What's it?
It's
do you,
fine.
Do you know what that's from?
Scooby Doo?
No, it's from Flintstones.
Flintstones.
I knew when he did it. I was like, he does not know the show.